We live in a time where deciding if a video game is worth playing should be easier than ever. We don't have to wait for a magazine to come in the mail for a so-called professional to give a review. Almost immediately after a game drops, you can see what people online think about it. Is this always a good thing though? Today we're going to be talking about Ubisoft's XDefiant, which is a game that you either love or hate. This is a brand new arcade shooter game released by everybody's favorite Ubisoft. As you can tell from the gameplay on screen, this game very much screams Call of Duty competitor. Whenever I'm playing this game, I personally feel like I'm playing Black Ops 3, which could be a good or bad thing depending on how you took that game when it came out. Some similarities between Black Ops 3 and this game are that you have different factions of characters who have different abilities. There's the Cleaners, Phantoms, Libertad, Echelon, and DedSec, which is actually locked behind a paywall and or challenges. This game features game modes that you would recognize if you played Call of Duty. The one you're watching right now is a King of the Hill type game mode, but there's also a domination game mode, a kill confirmed type game mode, a payload game mode, and a zone control game mode. All of these are game types that everybody knows and loves, and it wouldn't take long for a seasoned gamer to figure them out. So this begs the question, what makes it worth playing XDefiant over a game like Call of Duty? For starters, this game is free to play, and not only that, but it's also about 100 less gigabytes of storage to download the game. That makes this game very accessible for somebody who doesn't want to spend money and has a lack of storage on their device. You're also just getting a free to play game that's very comparable to something like Call of Duty, which costs you about $70 now. That's also one of the big pluses that I'm going to give this game, and from here on I'm going to make sure I mention that this is a free to play game and doesn't cost you anything other than cosmetics or the battle pass if you choose to buy it. It's up for debate, but I actually really like the gunplay in this game, and I think the maps are good. A lot of people disagree on that, and I'm going to get into reasons as to why people don't like it. But whenever you can only compare a free-to-play game like this to something like the finals, the gunplay in this game started out very nice. So what exactly is it that people do not like about this game? First of all, it's made by Ubisoft, so a lot of people are already not happy with it because it's made by a company like them who has failed to put out any good games over the last several years. This game also sat in development hell for a while, and it had some promised release dates that actually didn't make the mark, and it was actually only released a little bit under a week ago. This game has also suffered some server issues ever since the drop. Luckily, as a team, they've actually fixed those problems rather quickly, unlike Payday 3, who had some server issues for days and days until they were finally addressed. So props to them for going on that quickly. People are also complaining about hit registration in this game, and one of the developers actually tweeted the other day that they are currently fixing that problem, so I'm really excited to see how they're going to do that. The featuring of a battle pass also makes some people nervous that there could be just some cash grab elements to the game, but with how many games do a battle pass anymore, I'm not exactly worried about that. It's not any more expensive or any cheaper than anything else like Fortnite or Apex Legends, so I'm not entirely worried about a cash grab situation with that. And like every other FPS game that comes out, people are wanting to see some balancing with the weapons in this game. If you play a few rounds, you'll learn really quickly that people really like the sniper rifle because it's a one-shot kill at almost any distance. So if you like using sniper rifles, this may be good news to you, but if you don't like sniper rifles, this is really bad news to you. SMGs are also kind of a strange subclass to be using in this game because a lot of them suffer from not being very good. At least until you get them leveled up. The best SMG at this point is the MP7. Other than that, you're going to really suffer using an SMG unless you've got them really leveled up. So now the question is, what do I think this game has going for it, and what is it bringing to the table that can benefit gamers in the future? One of my favorite things about a game like XDefiant being released is that we finally have a game that kind of challenges Activision to make an FPS game that is actually worth playing over something that's free to play. Call of Duty is the king of arcade shooters, and with that, they've also been able to have their own little subgenre of a game where they control the flow, and if they put out something bad, it doesn't really matter because they know someone's going to buy it anyway. There's a huge market for an arcade shooter like this, and they're going to charge you $70 every year for the same game. A free-to-play arcade shooter like this game coming out is a huge threat to their market, because if they can't beat a free-to-play shooter like this, then they're going to lose a lot of their sales. Why would you pay $70 for a game if there's something as comparable to Call of Duty as XDefiant out there that you can play for free? Unless you wanted to spend money on the battle pass, which is only $10. And not that Activision is globally well known and well liked from everybody, but you're also talking about a game that's coming out from Ubisoft who everybody universally does not like. Call of Duty has needed another game to come into their space so that they can actually start focusing on making games that's actually worth buying and playing instead of this. I personally like XDefiant and I think it's fun, but I think anyone should respect the idea that this game is actually just invading Call of Duty's space, and I personally would like a good Call of Duty to come out, and this really makes it possible for them to have a threat. I also just have a hard time really judging harshly a game that's free to play. It's not like I spent money on this game, so my disappointment is not a financial loss. If I don't like the game, I can just uninstall it and I literally lost nothing. If I spent an hour playing this game, I didn't really lose any valuable time, as it was free to play and I had the choice if I wanted it or not. I didn't have to return it and I didn't lose any money on it. That's also what really makes me hope that the people who don't like this game, or the people who have judged this game pretty harshly, actually gives it a chance and plays it. There's no reason to not play this game, especially if you haven't already, and form a real opinion based on what you actually thought of the game. You don't have to spend any money on it. Just try it out, see what you think. This game could have a really promising future if they actually invest a lot of time and effort into it, like they have with Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, we're talking about a game like Rainbow Six that was actually actively dying until it became popular from streamers like Jinxie. But they've proven that they can take care of a game and make it good, so if they could do that with this game, I don't see why it wouldn't be a really good competitor to Call of Duty in the future, and for quite a while. So that just about sums up what I think about XDefiant, and I want to know what you guys think about this game, so please feel free to drop a comment and give me your opinion on what you think about this game, or what you think about some of my opinions of this game. And real quick, if you watched last week's video, you may have seen that we celebrated 50 subscribers. Well, a week later, we're now celebrating that we just passed 100 subscribers. So thank you very much to everybody who subscribed to us, and we've gotten a lot of subscribers really quick. So I really appreciate you guys watching.